Today I'm ranking every single axe in Lumber Tycoon 2. We're gonna see which axes are the best and which ones absolutely suck. My friend Electrotech is going to do the same, and at the end we're going to compare our lists to see who has the better list. We're gonna start off with the Alpha Axe. This was the first ever limited axe. I wasn't even playing the game when you could get this axe in What Are Us. It was there as a reward for alpha testers back when the game first came out, but for the sake of this comparison, the stats are what matter the most. So for these axes, technically there's damage, cooldown, DPS, and range to consider, but DPS, which stands for damage per second, is just the damage and cooldown combined. So I'll focus on just DPS and range for these comparisons. Now the Alpha Axe has a damage per second of 3, which is decent, but for a limited axe that you need to trade with other players to get, it's kinda trash. Same with the range, that's how far you can be from the thing that you're cutting to actually chop. 10 is kind of average for a limited axe, so nothing special. I would probably put this axe lower, but since it was the first ever limited axe in the game, which is pretty awesome, I'm gonna put this in C tier. Okay, the Beta Axe. This one was added for beta testing, just like the Alpha Axe was for alpha testing. I did actually start playing the game while this axe was on store shelves, and I bought 1 or 2, but I remember seeing someone buying a whole stockpile of them, and my 2 brain cells at the time were like, ha! What an idiot! This guy's wasting all of his money! Well, I didn't realize they would go off sale. Yeah, turns out he was an actual visionary because he probably resold all of those for hundreds of thousands of lumber bucks, which was a huge deal back then. Anyways, this axe sucks. I'm putting it in D tier. Yeah, the DPS is just barely better than the Hardened Axe, but it was double the price and it's limited. So nowadays it's like at least 10 times the price. So yeah, D tier. Okay, now we're gonna go over all of the axes you can get from What Are Us right now. Starting off with the basic Hatchet. Now this is the first thing to come to mind when you think of a weak, pathetic axe. And yeah, its DPS is 0.3, which is terrible, but it's like not the worst axe in the game. And for its availability and price at just 12 lumber bucks, it's actually not a bad deal. It's the first axe you buy, and you have to buy it to progress through the game, so it's actually a really important axe, and it's just iconic. So honestly, even though it's like the 3rd worst axe in the game, just in terms of DPS, I'm putting it in C tier just because of how incredibly necessary this axe is, and because of how iconic it is. Okay, next we have the plain axe, which honestly doesn't have much going for it. It's a bit better than the basic Hatchet with a DPS of 0.75, but honestly, most of the time I skip over it when progressing through the game, so honestly I'm putting this in E tier. Next we have the Steel Axe. Personally, I do still skip over this one when progressing, but not as often. It's got a DPS of 1.33, so it's still pretty terrible, but it's still an upgrade. I don't know, I'll put it in D tier. It's nothing special, but I am glad that it's there as an option when progressing through the game. But moving on to the Hardened Axe, this is usually the one that I try to shoot for. It's got a DPS of 2.23, and I don't know, whenever I get it when I'm progressing through the game, it just feels really fast compared to the axes that come before it. But when starting out, it is pretty expensive at 550 lumber bucks, so I think I'm gonna put this one in C tier. Moving on to the last axe that you can just buy straight from What Are Us, we got the Silver Axe, which is pretty expensive at 2,040 lumber bucks, but it has a DPS of 3.33, which is really high compared to all of the ones that come before it. In terms of when you're first starting out on a new plot, it's a great upgrade, but where this axe really shines is just convenience, because like I said, it's the last axe in the line that you can just buy straight from What Are Us. So late game, when you have a bunch of money and you need a disposable axe for any reason, maybe you're going up the volcano and you don't want to lose your axe, but you do still need an axe, you can just quickly buy a silver axe and not be too sad if you lose it. but it's also fast enough that you don't have to sit there chopping for ages. And like, you don't have to go out and buy it from some other player. You don't have to go through some crazy quest to get it. It's super convenient, and because it has such convenience late game, I'm honestly gonna put this in A tier. It's not the best axe in terms of DPS by any means, but I find myself using this when I'm getting snow glow wood through the river tunnel, or when I'm getting palm wood, just any tree where I'm not entirely certain that I'm going to be able to survive. This axe comes in handy. Okay, it's time for the Rukiryaxe, which is the last axe on the list that you can get at any time of the year without trading with players. I guess that's not technically true. You can't get it on Halloween Day, but that's like one day out of the year. You might not know this, but the Rukiryaxe actually has the second highest DPS of any axe for general woods. There are specialty axes that are better for specific woods, but in terms of just a general axe, this one is really, really good, especially considering you don't have to trade to get it, and the quest to get it is really cool compared to most other axes where you literally just had to buy them from the store and that's it. So overall, a very solid axe. I'm gonna put this in A tier. Alright, moving on to the End Times Axe, which you literally just do the Rukiryaxe quest during the Halloween event to get. Because Phantom Wood has millions of HP, no axe can really cut it, but Phantom Wood is the End Times Axe's specialty, and it deals at least 1 million times the amount of damage to Phantom Wood compared to any other axe on any other tree. That's because this axe has a DPS of 33 million on Phantom Wood. That is an absolutely insane number, but in reality, since Phantom Wood is so incredibly strong, the End Times Axe just feels like it's the same as cutting any other wood. On all other woods, the End Times Axe is just a little bit worse than the Rukiryaxe, but do note that Phantom Wood sells for the most out of any other wood, albeit each server only has one Phantom tree, and it requires that you use an ostrich eye to get, so it's a little bit of a hassle to get. Definitely a really cool axe, but the only reason you'd use it is if you are cutting Phantom Wood. Otherwise, there are much better axes, so I'm just gonna put it in A tier, not S. Alright, the Fire Axe. This was the first ever specialty axe to come out. Specialty meaning that it's just really good at chopping a specific wood or woods. And for the Fire Axe, that's lava wood. Now, lava wood is pretty good for making money, but it's not the best, so most people just skip on over to getting ice wood, especially considering that lava wood is much harder to fit into small sawmills compared to ice wood, while selling for less. The Fire Axe is a very solid axe, but I just never use lava wood, so I'm gonna put this in B tier. Okay, the Candy Cane Axe. This thing has a DPS of 0. It literally can't chop. I think you guys know where this axe is going. Okay, next, the Chicken Axe. I know this is gonna be controversial, but I like never see anyone using this axe. I don't know the last time I used this axe. It's got a DPS of 1.39, which is really terrible. It's also, for some reason, sideways. All the other axes, oh, I guess there's another one that's sideways, but there's just 2 random axes that are sideways. I say that as if I didn't make this list. Anyways, yeah, this is going in F tier. Alright, the Beesaxe. This axe has a DPS of 2.8, which is, yeah, kind of trash, but it does summon bees, so that's cool. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna use it. No one uses it. The Amber Axe. This axe has a DPS of 2.98, so that's not really the best. Remember, it's a limited axe, so you have to buy it from other players, which means it's more inaccessible. So having a low DPS with no specialties really hurts its score. It does one-hit oak trees while having a lower cooldown than the mini axe, so it could come in handy for oak wood, but you don't really need a dedicated axe for oak wood. It's really soft. Just about any axe will cut it really easily. It was the first axe added for Halloween though, so I guess I'll put it in E tier. Okay, next we got the Gingerbread Axe, which actually, guys, I don't know if you know this, but I love the Gingerbread Axe. It's one of my favorites. So it's got a DPS of 2.4, but it has a specialty on not 1, but 2 different woods, and that's not like completely unique to this axe specifically, but for having 2 different specialty woods, the DPS for each of them is kind of insane, with koa being 27.5 and walnut being 21.25. That's a really high amount, and that's not the only thing that's kind of crazy about the gingerbread axe. I personally use koa wood and walnut wood a lot, so I really like this, but it also has an insane range of 32. That's the highest range of any other axe. That's double the mini axe, double the candy corn axe, more than triple the silver axe, and that really helps you to chop these giant koa and walnut trees really easily. And I mean, you can use this on any tree if you need that range, which can come in handy. So honestly, I'm putting the gingerbread axe in S tier. First S tier on the list, let's go. But next we got the mini axe, which it's got a DPS of 5.37 on every wood, which is the highest of any axe for general woods, besides one other axe, which we'll get into in a minute, but there's a reason why the mini axe is still better than that half the time. The range is 16, which is actually really good. Obviously, that's half that of the gingerbread axe, but it's still a really good range. But yeah, everyone uses a mini axe, and for good reason. It's just the best axe for general woods. Obviously, it depends on the tree you're chopping, but if you just want an axe that's gonna get the job done no matter what wood you're chopping, besides of course phantom wood, the mini axe is gonna be the go-to. Yeah, you already know, this is going in S tier as well. Okay, the cave axe. This axe is a specialty axe, so for normal woods it's got a DPS of 1, but it has a specialty for cave crawler wood. So on cave crawler wood, it has a DPS of 32.72, which is absolutely crazy. It's absolutely amazing for cave crawler wood. Me personally, I don't really use cave crawler wood like ever, so it's very rare that I go down and grab cave crawler wood from the maze. If I do, I'm usually just using a mini axe. I'm putting this in C tier just because I'm probably not gonna use it very often. It is still pretty nice if you get cave crawler wood a lot, but for me, I just don't. Okay, we got the candy corn axe now. For a limited axe, its DPS is kind of trash at 2.92, but it does have a pretty good range at 16, and it does seem to be a little bit better for wall climbing compared to other axes. That's where in shift lock, you drag your axe right in front of you while walking into a wall, and if you do it just right at the right angle, you'll start climbing it and ascending up to the top of the wall. But I don't know if I would say it's too much better at this than a regular axe. I think I'm gonna put this in D tier. Alright, next we got the bird axe. Most people don't actually know this, but the bird axe is a specialty axe. It's got 2 special woods, but it's not that good at those woods. For most woods, it's a 3.1 DPS, but for lava wood, it's got a DPS of 6.25, and for cave crawler, it's got a DPS of 9.75, which you guys already know, those are 2 woods that I don't really care to get a whole lot of very often, and it's also not enough of an upgrade to justify carrying it around, and that's why you'll never see me with this axe in my inventory. So yeah, I'm gonna put it in D tier. The rusty axe. It's got a DPS of 1.38, which is just absolute trash. That's the same as the steel axe, despite this one being a limited axe, so obviously it's just not a good axe at all. There's no specialty, it's just kind of a waste of an axe gift year, so I'm putting this in F tier. Okay, next we've got the Overgrown Axe, which is actually an axe I use quite a bit. This one has a specialty for zombie and goldwood. For most woods, it's a 1.45 DPS, but for zombie wood, it's a 15.22 DPS and a 15.29 for goldwood. Essentially, it's really good for gold and zombie wood, and I actually use these 2 woods quite a bit. They're very useful woods for most styles that you might be building in. So I generally keep an Overgrown Axe in my inventory most of the time, actually. Since it's got 2 different woods that it's really good at, I'm honestly gonna put this in S tier as well, especially since goldwood is a very hard kind of tree to cut down. It's really nice to have an axe that can cut it really fast. the Pie Axe. This one, I mean, it is an axe that I did help make. Me and Electro actually made this axe together, which is pretty cool because we're of course about to compare our lists in this video. But yeah, the Pie Axe has a DPS of 3.17, which isn't that bad, but it is a specialty axe. It has an increased damage on cherry wood, so it's got a 7.6 DPS on cherry wood. But honestly, I don't think many people actually asked for this because cherry wood is a very soft wood to begin with. So having an axe that specifically specializes in chopping cherry wood isn't actually something that is that necessary. The design is of course top tier. There's definitely no bias there in that opinion. The only reason I would ever have this in my inventory is if I need to process a ton of cherry trees. And even then, it's not that much better than just using a mini axe, which I'm likely to have on me anyways. So for me, it's really hard to justify carrying this around. I'm gonna put this in B tier. Okay, next we have the Frost Axe, which I'm a pretty big fan of it. I do have a Frost Axe usually on me, especially within the first few weeks of me starting on a new plot, just because the Frost Axe is really good at cutting frost wood. It's got a DPS of 19.35 on frost wood. Frost wood is actually super OP. I do use it for building. It has specific unique properties that are really helpful for building because it has low friction, and frostwood is also like the best wood that you can grind. I guess phantom wood is technically a little bit better. You can get a little bit more money, but it does require that you buy an ostrich eye, which is very expensive, so it's got a higher entry level. Most people just use frostwood to grind for money, and honestly, same. I usually just get frostwood when I need money, and since the Frost Axe really speeds up the process of getting the best wood in the game, at least in terms of money making and special properties, I'm gonna put this one in S tier. This one is a godly axe for sure. Okay, the Bluesteel Axe. If you don't know, this is another axe that I have made, but I'm gonna try not to be biased, but honestly, I really love this axe. For those of you who don't know, my favorite woods are pine and blue spruce, and honestly, I think I like blue spruce a little bit more, so the Bluesteel Axe being able to chop my favorite wood with a DPS of 17.8, to me that's just amazing, but that's not the only thing that makes this axe OP. There's one other thing that is absolutely insane, and that is axe flinging. The Bluesteel Axe is by far the most OP axe for axe flinging. You can get pretty much anywhere on the map just by chopping some wood with this axe, jumping at the same time, and moving your camera in the direction that you want to fling to. It of course takes a lot of skill, but no other axe can do it as good as the Bluesteel Axe can. It's amazing for hunting for spook trees because if you find a tree, you can just fling over to it and you don't have to deal with trying to long plank to it or whatever. So if you haven't caught on by now, I'm putting this axe in S tier. I just love the Bluesteel Axe so much. I know it might seem biased, but I also just really like the design. Anyways, moving right along to the Spearmint Axe, which, yeah, this thing is basically like the candy cane axe. It's a little bit better because at least it does do some damage. It's got a DPS of 0.2 and a range of 1, so you can't even really cut anything with it unless you're really close. And yeah, it's not great. It's got a really long cooldown. That is the longest cooldown of any axe, so it's more of just like a troll axe. I'm putting this thing in F tier as well. The Refined Axe. This is actually an incredibly OP axe. I use this thing all the time. The thing about the Refined Axe is that it can't cut any trees, so you can't really use it in that case. You're gonna have to use any of the other axes to cut down the trees, but once they're sawmilled, the Refined Axe is pretty much the best for any wood in pretty much every situation. There are specialized axes that in some cases are better than the Refined Axe, but there are cases where the Refined Axe is actually better, and just as a general axe, this thing is insanely good. The DPS on trees and logs, of course, is 0, but on planks, the DPS is 20, which is Absolutely insane. That's higher than the Frost Axe is on Frost Wood. That's higher than the Bluesteel Axe is on Blue Spruce Wood, and 4 times higher than the Many Axe on General Woods. The fact that this axe can cut any plank almost as good or better than specialty axes for those woods. If you build at all, this axe is a must, and it's also got a range of 13, which is not bad at all. This axe is hands down an S tier for sure. Okay, now we're on to the axes that came out like a month ago. The Inverse Axe is very unique. It's the only axe that actually deals negative damage. This got a DPS of negative 2.5, so that means by default it should be the worst axe in the game, just because it literally does the opposite of chop. But the fact that it does deal negative damage is actually kind of useful. If you ever want to undo a chop, you can use this axe to do so. The main use case for this functionality is if you are cutting a tree and you accidentally chop too far from a joint, but you still want it to break at the joint so that you don't have to cut each piece individually off. If you have an inverse axe on you, you can just use this to undo the chop. So it's got a solid use case. I also like the design of this axe. It's pretty cool. For me personally, I don't think that it's really worth having a whole axe in your inventory for the off chance that you might accidentally chop wrong. I mean, it happens a lot to me, but I don't know if I would really consider having a dedicated axe just to undo the chop. It might not really save me a whole lot of time, because it does take time to undo the chop and then you have to redo the chop, and at that point you might as well just chop all of the branches. I don't know. I'm gonna put it in C tier. Okay, next we got the Pig Axe, which is actually still in the game right now. I don't know when it's gonna be removed from store shelves, but anyways, it's got about the same stats as the Alpha Axe, so nothing particularly special. It's worse than the Silver Axe, but to be fair, it's also like half the price. It's probably gonna be limited and removed from store shelves. It used to have collisions enabled, so you were able to push people's items around, which is kind of OP, but also really scary. That's like kind of a big vulnerability that allowed exploiters to fling people's stuff, which is kind of, I don't know. I made a video about how you could use it to push the gold bridge down, but I did know that you could just literally push people's stuff. So on release, it was kind of just bad for the game in general. The design of the axe is very unique. It looks almost like it was made using unions instead of a mesh, and that might be the case. The boxed Pig Axe is kind of funny, but it's also really low effort in terms of design. It's just Mr. Pig stretched out on a box. It was probably just the first result that came up when you look up pig in toolbox. And yeah, that collisions issue was since patched. This axe actually kind of sparked up some controversy because it was added as a tribute to a relatively good builder. I mean, his builds weren't that bad, but a lot of people never heard who he is. Critics pointed out that there are plenty of other players in the community that are more well known and who have had a more prominent impact on the community. It is a funny update, but considering the issues that it caused, I'm putting it in E tier. Alright, finally we've got the unobtainable axes. These are axes that you can't get in the game. Starting out with the Stone Axe, which was added in early alpha testing. It was replaced by the basic hatchet, and it has very similar stats. Although even though the DPS is the same, the damage was 5, which is about as good as the Many Axe, but the swing cooldown was 16 seconds. Imagine waiting 16 whole seconds before you can chop again. That must have been insane. For comparison, the Many Axe has a swing cooldown of 1.9, and even the Spearmint Axe, which is an incredibly slow cooldown, is only 5 seconds. The design of this axe is literally just a Roblox gear accessory, so very low effort. I can see why it was replaced by the basic hatchet. You can still actually see the boxed version of this stone axe in the VIP room, which is a room that disappears the second you open up a server, but occasionally that script will fail, which allows you to go see the VIP room for yourself. It's a very rare occurrence, but it has happened to me a couple times. But even still, there's no way to get the stone axe. It is completely unobtainable. I'm gonna put this in F tier just because even if you could get it, it's just a really terrible axe. Anyways, next up we have the gold axe. This axe is incredibly iconic. The gold axe had a DPS of 125. That is absolutely insane. That is higher than any other axe in the game. This axe could pretty much one-chop any tree besides phantom wood. Obviously, you can't get the gold axe. It was actually removed from game files, so it doesn't even exist in the game anymore. But when it existed, it was absolutely insane. Really, only Defaultio and a few testers ever were meant to get the gold axe, but exploiters actually found a way to get the gold axe for themselves, which is mainly why it was removed. Because people started getting their hands on the most OP axe in the game, which obviously Defaultio was not a fan of, so he just removed it altogether, which caused it to disappear from everyone's base. If it did still exist, I would definitely put this in S tier, but I'm gonna put it in A tier just because you can't get it anymore. Still an incredibly important and significant axe, and it's kind of synonymous with Lumber Tycoon 2 lore. Alright, moving on to the Lumberman's axe. This is just kind of in the game files, but it doesn't have any stats or anything. It's not really meant to be used or anything. The main thing is that this axe is visible in the Lumber Tycoon 2 thumbnails, and has been ever since the game was released. So it's very iconic, but since it has no stats and you were never able to really get it, I'm gonna put it in E tier. Alright, that is all of the axes. Now let's go see what Electro did. Hello, Electro!
Hi!
Hello! Okay, we need to do a comparison. Now, for the sake of time, me and Electro actually split this comparison into two halves. The first half will be on Electro's video, while this video will show the second half. To see the first half, make sure to check out Electro's video. There will be a link in the description, of course. But yeah, let's begin. The Candy Corn Axe! Yippee! Alright.
C tier.
D tier.
Close enough. It doesn't have an axe head, which is cool. That's about it.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen people use it for like axe climbing.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know if it is that much better.
No, I don't think it really is.
It's kind of trash.
Lame.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of garbage.
Bird axe.
Bird axe. What would you put it?
I put it in X tier.
No.
Funny. Okay, I put it in D tier.
Really? D tier? I put in B tier.
Why would you do that?
It was cool. It was a cool axe.
It was a cool quest.
It was obtained in a cool way, and it chops two trees better. I mean, it doesn't chop them like the best, but it just kind of useful, you know?
Am I ever gonna use it?
No, of course not.
No,
but it's kind of
absolutely
useful, you know? I don't know, bro. We need to add the X axe.
Anyways.
Anyway, Rusty Axe.
Oh my, okay.
I think we put this in the same tier.
Yeah, probably. S tier.
I already made that joke. You can't do that.
F tier.
F tier.
Yeah,
it's
thing,
garbage.
it looks terrible.
It
bro.
looks kind of garbage too.
Yeah, it's just bad. Yeah.
I don't know. It just looks weird. I don't like it.
It's a bad axe. I hate it. Anyways. Overgrown Axe. Yippee. This one's got vines growing all over it, and it's super shiny for some reason.
It is really shiny, and it has particles.
It does have particles.
Ooh,
it's
drippy.
Awesome. All right.
B tier.
What? I put mine in S tier.
S tier?
Bro.
I just don't. I mean, I could see A tier because it looks pretty epic.
I mean,
and
it's awesome.
I mean, I know it's useful. I know it's useful because it can do both the swamp trees.
Yeah.
So maybe I should have put it a little higher.
I agree.
But
you should have put it in S tier so we could be
I just don't think it's. I don't think it's that like. I feel like people forget about this axe. Like I barely see it.
I always use it. I use it constantly.
Really?
I've got it in my
Nah.
inventory because goldwood sucks to cut.
That's true. Goldwood does suck to cut.
It's so hard. So I like having it on
Okay.
me. It's great.
Okay, fine.
It's got 2 different woods that it can cut. That's
Yeah, that
also
is cool.
huge W. All right.
Okay.
Pie
Pie.
Axe. We worked on this together.
Yay!
Yippee! This was a
That's why
fun.
this goes in the SS tier.
The double
Double S.
S. Why is this pie so shiny
Yeah,
too?
it's really shiny.
I mean, I guess did we make it that way?
I don't know, man.
Anyways, I put it in C tier.
Really, I put in B tier.
I mean, I
Like,
don't
I
really
know,
use
okay,
it.
I know it's not useful really, but like, it's just epic all around, you know?
Yeah, it's
Like you
got a cool
chop, it has
design.
sound, it has custom
Oh yeah, yeah,
sounds
yeah. I
and
forgot about that.
particles,
I forgot about those.
so
But
it's just epic. And it can cut cherry wood faster. I
it's
mean,
like
not too much faster, but like,
no one asked for an axe that can cut cherry wood faster. It's like one of the softest woods in
okay,
the
well,
game.
the effort was there.
Yeah. All right. Frost axe.
C tier.
What? What? I put mine in S tier.
Okay, I think it should maybe go in A tier. I don't know why I put it
Why
this
did you
low,
put
to
it
be
in C
honest.
tier, bro?
Because like it's just like I don't know, man. I don't like the axe. I just don't like it.
You just don't like the
I don't
axe?
know. I
Bro,
have beef with this axe,
you better have better reasoning than that.
dude. No, bro, it's my ranking. I do what I want.
That's just cold.
Oh my god. Holy crap. Please shut up.
Anyways, you could use it to cut the best wood for
Yeah,
getting wood in the
I know,
game.
I know.
Besides maybe Phantom.
Yeah.
It's like OP. And
Okay, fine.
and Icewood, it has special properties.
That's true.
It's slick.
No, I maybe should have put it in A tier, but like S tier, man, like
It's OP, bro. I like it.
okay.
It does look awful with the snow. I will give you that. The snow on the axe
Yeah, the
looks
snow is
awful.
kind of weird.
It is really low quality. Anyways, Bluesteel Axe.
Bluesteel Axe.
You better have put this in S tier, bro.
No, I put in high A tier.
But look at what I have on my back.
Whoa, you have it on your back?
Oh my god, and guess where you can get this for yourself?
Where?
It's the Apton merch store.
Yo.
Yippee!
Yippee.
There's a link in the description. You could
Hooray.
get that. Why did you put it in A tier?
Because again, like I saved the S tier for only like the best, most axey axes, you know,
The
like
most axey axes. What is
the
bro on
most.
about?
I don't know. It's like it's a super epic axe,
Right.
but it doesn't have like that thing about it that makes it like super special. That's like S tier worthy. You know?
Like something like this.
Okay, but where did you end up?
I'm not too far. I'm actually kind of
Oh,
close
there
to the
you
base
are.
still.
Yeah, but you can do that with any axe. It's just that this one is very good. You know?
Bro, that's like saying you can chop
Okay,
phantom
okay.
wood with any axe,
Well,
even
that's just
though
straight up a lie. Well,
you could
actually,
if you
you
sat
could.
there
You
for like a
many
millennia,
hours. Yeah.
you could maybe get like half a chop in there.
Okay, well, I don't know. I just like I could see it in S tier if you really want it there, but
But like, it's also just top tier design,
I
right?
know the design is epic and Blue
And
Spruce is the best tree ever in the
I
game.
agree, and that's
So
definitely
maybe it does deserve S tier.
it deserves
I'm
S
gonna
tier in
think
my
about
heart.
it.
You better.
I'm gonna think about how I stole its position.
What?
like blue steel axe, and I stole,
You
like it
stealed.
should have been an S, and what?
Get out.
Okay, I'm leaving. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Okay, moving
Okay,
on.
the Spearmint Axe. This
uh,
is by you. You made this axe. You should clear that from your resume. If
yeah,
anyone finds out that you made this axe, I think
I don't know about this one.
people are gonna hurt you probably. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I think it's an F tier act.
Yeah, it's an F tier for me. I'm gonna go chop something with it. Bro, what is that? To be fair, it's not actually the slowest axe on this list.
That's true.
We got one other.
Well,
That's
we got
invisible.
two technically.
Wait, what?
Wait,
Wait, which
slowest?
Slowest.
You mean like cooldown?
Yeah, cooldown.
Wait, what's slower than that?
It's invisible. You can't see it yet, but we'll get to it.
Okay.
Okay.
The refined
The refined axe.
A tier.
What? Bro.
What? Did you
What?
put an S?
I did put it in S tier.
Bro, your S tier is overcrowded, dude. That's not the point of the S tier, man.
That's the last one in S tier.
Okay. I don't like it's definitely a very, very useful axe.
Right.
But like it's not necessary at all. Like you don't like when you process wood and stuff, you usually like cut it up with an auto cutter. Like there's really not many use cases when you need to use this axe.
Okay, that's fair. But like if you don't have an auto cutter, this thing's like OP. And especially if you're like trying to get wood up high, it's sometimes better just to keep it in like long
That's
one by
true. That's
ones.
true.
So
But still, in a 1x1 though, you can usually cut like pretty much any 1x1 with a maniac.
Yeah, but it takes way longer.
That's true.
It's so slow with the maniacs. This thing one chops pretty much any 1x1. That's true. It's just S tier.
Okay, man. I don't know. It's high A tier for me.
All right. The
Inverse
Axe.
axe.
Okay, I put it in C tier.
I put in B tier.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, I was kind of my C tier is a little bit overcrowded.
Go through everything in S and C tier.
Okay, I have more in F tier.
What? Okay. The inverse axe, it's cool. It's the first axe that heals trees, you know?
Yeah.
And it's kind of useful too. It's when cutting like thick trees and you make a epic mistake. You just fix it.
Yeah, and I think the design is pretty great. I like the like dimples.
Yeah, the design is okay. And the sound though. The sound is epic.
Does it have a unique sound?
Yeah.
Is it like reverse axe?
Yes.
I remember testing it, and I remember it being like, I can't remember. Maybe I did.
Bro is cooked. Bro doesn't know what he's talking about.
Bro, why is the animation not reversed too, though?
I know, that would have been kind of fun.
Yeah. All right. Well.
All right. Well, we got one left.
Yeah. This guy. I think I know where you put it. And honestly, I almost didn't agree, but I assume you put it in F tier.
Yes.
I originally put it in E tier until I saw this. Like you put it down, it literally.
There's literally no way to stand it up and display it. It's just not possible.
Bro, it was added and immediately exploiters started using it to cause damage to people's bases.
Bro, this axe is just like, I think it's by far the ugliest axe in the game.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's the only axe to just like not use a mesh whatsoever. Like it's just like it's unions, bro.
I mean, it's kind of unique in that way, but
yeah,
like...
it's unique. It's definitely a unique axe, but it just feels like it shouldn't be in the game, you know?
And
it's just weird.
The axe box is
weird.
probably just like the first result when you look up pig on toolbox and decals.
Yeah.
But you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, moving on to the next axe, which I can't remember which one was there. Do you have like the list up?
This invisible. Okay, we'll add it in post. Don't worry.
Okay, yeah, okay, we got the axe right here, guys. I promise.
Hey
Defaultio
guys,
gave us
as you can
express
see, it's right
permission.
here.
It's right here.
For legal reasons, I'm not going to be moving my camera anymore, but just trust me, the axe is
It's
real
right
and it
there.
is here.
I can move my camera. See, it's totally real. It's following. It's definitely there.
Yeah.
Defaultio just gave it
Okay.
to me.
So this is the stone axe,
The
right?
stone axe, yes.
Stone axe.
Yes, so the stone axe has a cooldown of 16 seconds.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Bro, imagine sitting there waiting for 16 seconds. But the damage was like as high as the mini axe. So, I
I don't know,
mean,
bro. I just put an E tier.
the damage per second. You put it in E tier, I put it in
Yeah.
F.
I think it's E just because it's kind of cool.
Yeah, but the design is literally just
I know, it's
the
literally just ripped from the presidential axe or whatever.
yeah, the vampire whatever.
Vampire, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think it's kind of cool. But yeah, it could definitely be in the F tier.
Yeah. All right. Next,
All right.
invisible axe. Yippee! Wait, no, it's not invisible. It's there.
It's
It's
right
there.
here. Look, it's
Oh my
right here.
God.
Look.
How did I?
Ooh, and I'm going in front of the
Oh,
camera. Ooh, that's gonna be fun
ooh.
to edit.
Oh, no,
Ooh.
stop that! Stop doing that. Okay, so we got ourselves the gold axe.
Gold axe.
Yippee! Stop jumping. I don't wanna. You're making me wanna jump, but
Okay, I'll
that's
stop. I'll stop. I'll stop.
for legal reasons. I can't jump.
Okay, okay. Where'd you put this?
I put the gold axe in A tier.
Okay, I put in B tier.
Okay, not too bad. I would put it in S if you could still get it, or if
Yes,
like
exactly.
Defaultio still had it or whatever.
Yeah, but the fact that it's completely gone from the game, it's like can't really put
Yeah.
it that high.
Yeah, and my S tier was already overpopulated.
Yeah, I'm aware.
So yeah, I mean that thing was insane. A DPS of
Yeah,
125.
yeah, that's crazy.
I would love a gold axe.
Can we get the gold axe for 2026, please, Defaultio?
Please, Defaultio, just give it to me. Not
Yeah.
Electro. Not Electro.
Oh, no.
Only me.
All right.
All right.
Let's move this way.
Oh, we got. Oh, it just appeared. It's
Yay! It's
the.
the last axe.
Yes, it's called the Lumberman's axe.
Lumberman's axe. I
Yep.
put this in F tier.
Oh, I put mine in E tier.
Wow, we swapped this one in the stone axe.
Yeah, I put
I
it.
think it's F tier just because like it was never even in the game. Like it was never
Yeah.
even an axe.
It was never
Like
an axe, but it's so iconic because
that's
everyone who's
true.
played Lumber Tycoon 2 has seen it, even if they don't
That's
realize.
true.
But yeah, it kind of just looks like a hardened axe.
But honestly, like even in the thumbnail, it doesn't even look like it doesn't even look like it, bro.
Yeah, but it's cool
It
that
looks
it's
like it
in
looks
the
like a
files.
plain axe.
Yeah, it's true. But those thumbnails are fire, and there's no bias there.
Oh yeah.
All right, well,
Well,
we also got
we
the Bone Seeker axe, which actually you
what I
can't
told you we're
see.
not adding this one. Why are we doing this one?
Because it's invisible. You can't. You don't
Oh.
even have to edit it in because we don't know what it looked like. Woo.
Ooh.
Anyways,
Okay.
that's also not
That
even on the tier list because it doesn't even exist really.
yeah.
All right,
That's it.
that's all. That's all,
That's all.
folks. Okay, goodbye, 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 goodbye.